6:52, time for the morning sprint.
The Badgers no longer in the running, but March Madness is still going strong this week. That means some programming changes here at News 3 Now. News 3 Now at 6 is going to air at 5:30 instead today. Our 10 p.m. newscast will air after the games wrap up. But if they go too long, you can watch that newscast at its normal time on TVW or stream our newscast through our Channel 3000 Plus app.
President Biden traveling to Poland today. He plans to meet with NATO members to discuss Russia's war on Ukraine and the refugee crisis. In Brussels yesterday, Mr. Biden took part in emergency NATO, G7, and EU summits, saying the U.S. and its allies are unified in efforts against Russia's aggressions. Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces continue to bombard Ukraine, but so far ground troops remain unable to overtake any major Ukrainian city.
An arraignment date is set for the woman charged in the baby Teresa death investigation. Karen Luutinen faces one count of concealing the death of a child after law enforcement identified her as the mother of the baby. According to the complaint, Luutinen, who was 33 at the time, did not know she was pregnant until late in her pregnancy. She told investigators when the child was born, the umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck.
The Department of Health Services held a groundbreaking ceremony for the Mendota Juvenile Treatment Center expansion and renovation project. The event marks the start of a $65.9 million construction project to transform the Mendota Juvenile Treatment Center into a statewide resource for intensive mental health services. The facility's programming will be available to girls for the first time when the project is completed in 3 years.
Madison College doing its part to help fill a shortage of first responders across the state. Yesterday, it held its second annual EMS and Fire Career Expo, connecting current students with alumni and departments. There, people could learn more about the positions available. Around 30 employers attended the event.
The Senate wrapping up 4 days of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. The full Senate is expected to vote on Judge Jackson's confirmation sometime before Easter.
Damage at the home of the Denver Broncos. Take a look after a fire yesterday afternoon. Firefighters say it happened in the construction area near the third-level seating at the Mile High Stadium. Some suites also damaged. The sprinkler system did work, but firefighters were needed to put out flames. Take a look at this picture. Just unbelievable. You could also see smoke just billowing from the stadium yesterday. The cause is still under investigation.
The U.S. men's soccer team holding steady. They faced off against Mexico last night in their World Cup qualifier. Although they didn't pull off a win, 0-0 tie still puts them on track to make it to the Qatar tournament. The U.S. now just has to hold steady for 2 more games against Panama and Costa Rica next week.
For the second day in a row, radio show host Alex Jones failing to show up for a deposition. Jones is being sued by the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook school shooting. Jones's attorneys repeatedly asked for the deposition to be delayed, saying he's dealing with some sort of medical issue right now, but the judge said it wasn't serious enough to warrant delay.
We are watching some snow showers throughout parts of Minnesota this morning. They're going to be working their way towards southern Wisconsin later on this afternoon, starting off as rain initially before going over to that period of some snow. Here's those raindrops. This is 1:30 this afternoon. You see the colder air from the north and west. That starts to work its way into the picture, and once it does so, we do have to watch for lowered visibility. We could see some snow squall warnings at times later on today. 35 tomorrow, 34 on Sunday, 40s next week. We might even see some thunder, in addition to sleet and the possibility of some snowflakes as well. So a whole mess of a situation next week.
You would love that thunder snow, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. One of my favorite things to say is bring your brooms because it's a mess. That's next week.
Thanks, Chris.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much for joining us this week, folks. We really appreciate it. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here first thing Monday morning.